For anyone who's new to me today, my name is Jess. Welcome. Welcome to, even if you're not new to me too. And we're just going to take these 45 minutes to just feel good. Don't overthink it. Don't make it more than it needs to be. Let your mind quiet down. Let your body be here. Breathing in and out. You are always welcome to modify, change, or frankly do whatever else you want. I'll keep us moving in one direction. And last little bit of logistics for folks in the room. I may wander around and offer some hands-on assists and adjustments. If you prefer not to be touched, that's totally fine. Just wave a hand up in the air now, let me know that. Okay. And if any time you want to change your mind or tell me to go away, that's totally acceptable behavior. Let's start to make your breath a little bit more deliberate. As you inhale, feel your lungs expanding. Try to fill all little nooks and crannies. Send the breath all directions. And then as you exhale, feel that emptying out, that release, that softening. We'll take about 4 more breaths like that, deliberately bringing in what you need and letting go of what you're done with. And then start to just let a little bit of movement in, some wiggling of the fingers and toes, circles with the wrists and ankles. Head can rock from side to side. And then hug your knees into your chest. Give everything a nice little tight squeeze. On your next inhale, reach everything out, but hover your hands, hover your feet. Take that big stretch, except there's some core work. And then hug everything back into the little ball. Inhale, extend everything out long. 2 more like that. Exhale, pull it all in. Inhale, get big, reach out. Exhale. Inhale. And then we'll hug the knees all the way in, but then this time rock yourself forward and back until you come all the way up to seated. Good, everything wide awake, ready for work. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, right hand to the ground, left hand stretches up and over. Inhale, rise back up to the center. And exhale, stretch the other way. Inhale, find center. Exhale, take a gentle twist looking over your shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, reach up. Circle your arms back. Find the ground behind you. Lean back. Open your heart. Rise on an inhale. And then exhale, forward fold. Dropping chin to chest, rounding your spine forward. Yeah. Let your jaw be loose and soft. Head heavy. 1 more full round of breath there. Good, and then rise back up. Perfect. Let's come over to all 4s. Take a few cat-cows, belly dropping, eyes lifting, rounding the other way, chin to chest. Inhale, look forward and up. Exhale, dome up your shoulders, round it out. 1 more round of breath like that. Very nice. And then tuck your toes, send your hips high, downward facing dog. And take a couple wiggles here, just kind of arriving in this shape, bending the knees, shaking the head, whatever you need. Good, let's take a peek at your hands. Make sure your fingers are spreading kind of as wide apart as they can. Middle fingers mostly pointing straight forward, keeping that alignment all the way up through the arms into the shoulders. Let your heels sink heavy towards the mat behind you. And then you can bend your knees in a downward facing dog. Sometimes that's a secret we don't always tell. Bending your knees will let your chest drop back towards your thighs and get some of the weight out of your arms and shoulders. I think it makes down dog a little more friendly. All right, on an inhale, come forward to a high plank. Stack shoulders over wrists, belly button to spine, push the ground away. Good, firing up some heat here, big breath in. As you exhale, slide back to downward facing dog. And then again, inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, press back to down dog. Do that one more time. Inhale forward. Exhale, downward facing. Good. Walk your hands all the way back to your feet. Bend your knees a lot. Hang out in a ragdoll pose. Grab opposite elbows. Sway side to side. Shake your head a little yes, a little no. And then release your hands. Interlace them behind your back and wring out your shoulders, taking the hands up and over. You could keep the knees bent here, or if you like more stretch for the hamstrings, start to straighten the legs. 2 more breaths. Release your hands down. Walk them forward to the top of the mat, downward facing dog. Great big breath in. Great big breath out. Look forward, walk your feet up to your hands. Halfway lift when you get there, flat back, straight legs. Pressing the hands against the shins, reach your heart farther forward, kind of drop your belly. It's almost like cow pose, looking forward, reaching the heart forward. And then on an exhale, soften and relax. Good, rise all the way up to standing, reach up, look up, and exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Nice big breath in, you're safe. Good breath out. You can wave at people. On your next inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Halfway lift, flat back. Hands go down, both feet go back, high plank. Down to a low push-up chaturanga. Your knees could be up or down. Inhale, lift your chest for upward facing dog or legs down, baby cobra. Exhale, go back, downward facing dog. Awesome. You all know what you're doing, so I'll talk less. Big breath in and out. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Breathe in. As you exhale, bend knees, look forward. Come to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise. Reach up, look up. Exhale, dive right back down all the way. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Inhale, back bend, look up. Exhale, down dog. 3 breaths here. Good. Can you smush your hands flatter to put more weight on the insides? Because they want to go that way, right? So then we got to push them that way. Smush. Yeah. After that third exhale, bend your knees, look forward, come to the top, halfway lift, lengthen out. Exhale, fold in half. Stand up like you mean it, reach up. We'll do it one more time. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Halfway lift. Hands go down, feet go back. Exhale the chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, open your collarbones, look up. Good, exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Big breath in. Let it out. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, breathe. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Take yourself to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Rise all the way up, reach up. Land your hands at your heart. Pause for just a breath or 2 or 3 and notice. How are you? Perfect. All right, we'll do some sun bees. Big toes come together to touch, or you can choose to do that with feet hips width apart. And then we sit into a chair. Good. Does not have to be a tiny, really low to the ground chair. It could be like a bar stool. Belly button to spine, arms back. Some of you all are like in those kindergarten preschool chairs way down there. You choose. Maybe bring your hands a little closer together. Trace them back in space. Open the collarbones. Yeah, one more breath. And then let it go. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands go down, feet go back. Make your way to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Big breath together. In. Open your mouth, let it out. Inhale. Exhale. Right foot reaches straight back this way to the windows back here. Press through the ball of your foot. Spread your toes wide, demi-point that foot like a Barbie doll foot, and then push back as hard as you can. So as you're pushing back, you feel your core fire up, right? It's like impossible not to. One more breath there. Press. And then as you exhale, touch your knee to your nose. Inhale, press it back. Good. Now cross it under. Right knee will touch left elbow. Yeah, good. Press it back. And then take right knee over, touch right elbow. And press it up and back. Bring your knee all the way up to your forehead. Step your foot in between your hands. Lower your back knee down. Maybe double up your mat if you like a little extra padding under that knee, or toss something underneath. And then reach and sink the hips. Breathe right here. Think about the front side of your body getting longer, opening up. Legs and hips active. That same breath that like fills you up and empties you out. 2 more breaths. On this exhale, hands go down, frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your knees, step to your plank, and then find your way to down dog. You can skip the chaturangas or you can take them, your choice. Come all together with that big breath in, big breath out. Inhale, exhale. Good. Left foot reaches back behind you. The same idea. You're pressing back so hard, so strong. Arms are wide awake. Core is wide awake. There it is. On an exhale, knee to nose. Good. Inhale, press back, strong. Good. Cross it under, touch that opposite elbow. And press back. Good. Take it over, touch the left elbow. There it is. And go back. Knee all the way to the forehead. Really get it up there. Step the foot in between your hands. Lower your back knee. Rise up with the arms. And breathe. Good. About 5 breaths here to just sink into those hips. Lengthen up through your fingertips. But also keep it soft. Soften the shoulders down away from your ears. Good. On this inhale, reach your heart just a bit higher, lengthen, and then exhale, hands down, frame your foot, make your way back to down dog. All right, in down dog, big breath in the nose. Open your mouth, exhale it out. Inhale, exhale. Right foot reaches up and back again, just like we did. Exhale, touch knee to nose. Inhale, press it back. Good, cross it under, touch left elbow. Inhale, take it back. Take it over to the right side and back. Knee to forehead, so strong. Step it through. And now this time, back knee will stay lifted, high lunge. Breathe here. Good. We don't need to be balancing on a tightrope, so take up space side to side on your mat. Arms reaching strong. Jaw soft. 3 more breaths. Opening up. Good. On the exhale, hands come down. Frame your foot. Go back to downward facing dog. Nothing too fancy. Lots of repetition. Just letting your body move through the shapes. Big breath in the nose. Bigger exhale out. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Left foot reaches up and back. Knee to nose. Take it back. Cross it under, touch that right elbow. Inhale, go back. Touch the left elbow. Inhale. Step it all the way in between your hands. Rise up, high lunge. 5 breaths to just smooth it all out. Sink into the hips. Breathe. Good. And then use this last inhale, lift your heart just a bit higher. Exhale, hands to the ground, go back to your downward facing. Good. From your down dog, look forward and then tiptoe tiny little slow steps until you get all the way up to the top of the mat. So you get that big forward fold down the back of the legs. From here, roll up to standing, reach out, look up. Exhale, thumbs to your heart. Huge breath in. Huge breath out. All right. Take your feet wide to the edges of your mat, toes hanging off the sides. Hands in the center, sink down into your hips. We're dropping into Malasana. We haven't done a lot to open the hips this way, so be kind to yourself. Maybe a little wiggle. Loosen your jaw. 2 more breaths here. Good. All right, from here, crow pose. If you got it, go for it. If you're working on it, hands come down, shoulder width apart. Knees find the backs of the arms. That's why we did all that work, touching the backs of the elbows. Rock your weight forward. Keep looking forward. Maybe today is the day you pick up 1 foot or both. And if you're up there, bring those big toes to touch. Maybe it's like you're trying to kick yourself in the butt a bit. 1 more breath, and then we're going to down dog. So if you're up on crow, just zoop, send the legs back. You're in chaturanga. Or step back, yes. And we all meet in our downward facing dog. Good. Every time, I just love that moment when I say to do that, and then I get the eyeballs that are like, are you effing crazy, lady? It's a real thing, I promise. Everybody breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Let it out. Right foot reaches up and back. Step it in between your hands. Warrior 2. So the back heel goes down. You rise up. And now we've opened up those hips. So really just let everything be flat across the front. Front knee is stacked over front ankle. Maybe you dig in for 90 degrees. Maybe not. It's a holiday. Flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, stretch yourself back. Good. Keep reaching back that way, straighten your front leg, reverse triangle. Pull your lowest abdominal muscles in, belly button to spine, kind of drop your tailbone. And now rise up, triangle pose. Reach out over your foot, press your hips back towards Georgia Ave, and then the right hand goes down, the left hand lifts up. You could put that bottom hand on a block, or your shin, or you can float it. Lots of options. Good. Make sure you're still breathing here. Yeah. And then press up here. Awesome. Use your next inhale, rise all the way back up. Perfect. Turn both feet to the long edge of your mat. Interlace your hands behind your back. Roll the shoulders open, look up. And then forward fold down the middle. A little bend in the knees. Hands can stay bound and go up and over. Exactly. Let it be soft. Let it be heavy. Wiggle things loose a bit. Good. It might feel more steady if you turn your heels out and kind of duck feet inward. Turn your toes in towards one another. That way. Yeah, exactly. But if that doesn't feel good in your ankles or something, then don't worry about it. All right, release your hands down. Take your right hand and press it into the ground right below your face. Take your left hand and open it up to the ceiling for a twist. Breathing there, letting the collarbones get wide, letting the chest get broad. Come back down to the center, switch sides, twist open the other way. Back down to the center. Bend your knees, tuck your chin to your chest, roll yourself up to standing. We're going to do warrior two to the back of your mat. So it's warrior two with the left foot pointing back. Arms reach out long. You got it. Belly button to spine, strong through the middle of your body. Flip your front palm, well, in this case, back palm, reach back, reverse your warrior. Good. Breathe. Straighten both legs, keep reaching. Good. Now turn that into triangle pose out over the left foot. Reach, reach, reach. And then the hand drops and you look up to the right. Core is strong and steady, holding you in the middle of your body. Could you pull your rib cage back in line with your hips as if you were leaning against a wall right behind you? Perfect. Use your breath. Rise up. Once again, turn your feet to the long edge of your mat. Bring your hands to your hips this time. Lift up on an inhale. Exhale, forward fold, right down the middle. Good. And then when you're ready, drop your hands down. Drop your head heavy. Maybe you are at a point where head is on the mat, and this starts to become a tripod headstand entry point. If that's interesting to you, you could walk your hands back in between your feet, keeping the toes and the fingers all pointing forward. And once that head finds the ground, then all you got to do is lift your feet up. We'll take 3 more breaths. Okay. On your next inhale, lift halfway up to about a flat back. Good. And then we'll take a deeper twist unless you liked that first twist. So deeper, we'll be taking right hand all the way to left ankle, left hand to the sky. You could just keep the hand right there under your face and lift the left hand up as well. 2 more breaths. Come down through the center, take it to the other side, whichever variation worked best for you. Perfect. Come back down to the middle, tuck your chin to your chest, bend your knees, roll up to standing. Warrior two to the front of your mat. Big breath in. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, find your way home to downward facing dog. Good. Yogi's choice from here, about 5 breaths to either lay the knees down and take child's pose, or stay still in your downward facing, or drop the forearms and let this turn into some dolphin pose work, really extra firing up into the shoulders. Good. All are good choices as long as you're still breathing, as long as you're taking care of yourself. We'll give it 2 more breaths. And then we meet in a downward facing dog. All right, we'll go do some standing poses. 1 more round, turning our body in the other direction just to feel balanced, hopefully. So we'll lift the left leg up and back. Step it in between your hands, warrior two. Good. Strong and steady in those legs still. Flip your front palm, reverse your warrior. This time, keeping that knee bent, rise back up, extended side angle. So arm to thigh, right arm is up and over. Beautiful. Rib cage reaching open towards the ceiling, that top arm getting long. Jaw soft. Eyes and eyebrows soft. Just playing, you can see how far it'll go. Good. Rise back up on an inhale. Perfect. Straighten both legs. Turn your feet to the long edge of your mat. Once again, interlace your hands behind your back. And then this time, just for a little bit of a brain teaser, switch and put the other thumb on top. So that's your non-dominant grip. Roll the shoulder blades together. Look up. Exhale, forward fold. Breathing. Head heavy. Jaw loose. Little bit of bend in the knees. Little bit of tilt in the pelvis. Good. One more breath. Yeah. And then release your hands. Roll all the way up to standing. We'll skip our twists. Warrior two to the back of your mat. Look at Georgia Ave. Bend into the right knee. Navel to spine. Strong through the middle. Flip your right palm. Reverse your warrior. Stretch your back. Good. Extended side angle. Come on up. Put your right arm on your thigh. Left arm reaches up and over. And then find balance in your effort here. Like feet are doing work, pressing down. Legs are strong, holding you. Abs are in, supporting the middle. Arms are strong. That top hand reaching out. And you're still breathing those big breaths. So much to do. Good, and then just be careful that that stays open this way, the knee, sorry. I'm just poking at you, yeah. Rise all the way back up. Awesome work. Straighten both legs, turn your feet to the long edge of your mat. Take your favorite forward fold. So if you were enjoying the shoulder opening, feel free to bind the hands behind you. If you want hands to the hips, forward fold that way. Maybe you go down and then you grab your big toes and you pull yourself down a little deeper that way. We've got about 5 breaths. Release if you have your hands holding onto something. Roll up to standing. Warrior two to the front of the mat, left foot pointing forward. Huge breath in. And then exhale, hands cartwheel down. Go back to your downward facing dog. Everybody lower down to a child's pose for just a few breaths. Letting things be soft. Letting any tension that might have snuck in release out. Smooth out any rough edges with the breath. All right, from here we'll rise up onto our knees, setting up for 3 rounds of camel pose. So if you like to double up your mat, you can add some padding that way under your knees. And then we're here. Reach up to the sky. Circle your arms back. See if you can do that with straight arms, so you really work the range of motion in the shoulders. And then bring the hands to the lower back. Fingers can point up, getting that big wrist stretch, but if that's screaming at you too much, turn the fingers down. And then hug your elbows toward one another as you lift your heart up. Think about getting as big as you can in this shape. It's almost like as you inhale, you're blowing up a balloon, expanding. As you exhale, there's that softening. And then another chance to get even bigger as you inhale. And softer. One more time, inhale, exhale. Good, release that, rising back up, circle the arms forward. And then have a seat down on your heels. Unless this doesn't work well in your body, then you can just sit on your bottom. We're gonna stretch into the wrists. So take your hands, fingers down, and then point them back at your feet. Puff up your chest a bit here. Breathe. And you can play with the intensity of the stretch by where you put your hands, where you position them. Farther forward is probably going to be more intense. Farther back is probably going to ease off. Okay. Okay, from here, let's come back up and do another round of camel pose. So again, reach first, circle the arms back, lift up and out of your hips. Maybe your gaze goes to the ceiling and then starts to go back to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Make sure you're still able to breathe, whatever point you find yourself at. 2 more breaths. Fantastic. Rise back up, circle the arms forward, and then we'll stretch the wrists in a different direction. So putting the tops of your hands on the mat next to your knees. And again, puff up your chest. It always catches me by surprise. It's like more than I thought it was going to be. Breathe. Okay, let's release that. Maybe wiggle the hands and the wrists a bit, and then we'll take one final round of back bend here. So if you're like, ooh, I love this, I want more, you can take your toes and tuck them under so that as you reach back, you can release hands to heels. If you're there and you still feel like, I could take this farther, I want to take this farther, then untuck your feet, and that's going to drop you down even farther. Generally, it's not a good thing in my body, but maybe in yours. So come on up, reach to the sky. Start just like we've started every other time. Arms circling back. Hips are forward, staying over the tops of the knees, elbows drawing in. Maybe you explore, maybe you just drop one hand to one heel and see what happens. And then if it feels like you're not going to be able to walk out of the room, maybe back off. Okay, we've got 3 more breaths, whatever you're playing with. Good, use your core strength. Come on back up, circle the arms forward, and then child's pose to lengthen everything out. So sink the hips, stretch the arms out long. Breathe. If that back bend felt like it was doing some good work for you, with you, highly recommend it on a daily basis. It is bending yourself in the direction that you don't bend, most of us don't bend all day long. So it really helps to restore some balance and open up the chest that tends to cave in all day long as we sit in front of our computers. Take one more big breath in. Let it out. Downward facing dog over the next breath or 2. Rise up to it. All right, and then on an inhale, take your right leg up into the air as high in the air as you can get it now. Different than we've done before, right? We're lifting that leg up. Let the hips kind of start to stack and open, and then bend that knee. Let your knee try to point up as your foot drops back towards your bottom. You get this big opening stretch to the right side of your body. You can stay right here. You can draw big circles with your knee to feel your hip joint move around, or you can flip your dog over into another back bend. We've got 3 more breaths, whatever it is you're doing. Awesome. Then you got to make your way back around if you flipped. Step your right foot forward outside of your right hand, lizard lunge at the top of your mat. Give it a little wiggle, and then when you're ready, put that back knee down. This could be enough. If you want to add more, you might drop to forearms or put your forearms on a block. And then we just give our hips some time to soften and open. If you don't have a block and you want one, I'm happy to deliver. All right, then start to come back up to your hands. We'll keep your left hand planted into the ground. Reach the right hand up. Get big from your fingertips all the way down into the left hand. You can stay or you can trace the top hand back behind you, follow it with your eyes. You could pick up your back foot and give the quads, the front of your thigh, a great big stretch. 3 more breaths. Beautiful work. Okay, release that. Bring your arms back around to the front. Half pigeon. Take your right foot all the way to the left edge of the mat. Lay your shin down. Keeping that foot flexed will kind of help support the knee joint. Maybe if you're floating, you stick a block underneath your right hip or glute. And then you can forward fold right down the middle. Good. You all look fairly tolerant of this shape. If you're screaming, if your body's screaming, you can absolutely take it from seated right here, which gives you a little more control over the intensity. Don't let this be the pose that makes you never come back to yoga. And then we'll just kind of sit with it. We've got about 10 breaths to be here. You might find if you put your butt on this and kind of rest onto it as a bench, that gives you a little less work to do. Yeah. Could your head rest on something? Maybe it's the floor or blocks or a stack of your hands. Only if you want more. And if you're here and you're thinking that this doesn't feel like very much work or anything, this foot can work its way farther forward. Just relax that down. Yeah, keep centering this way if you can. All right, we'll just take 2 more breaths here. See if you can soften something somewhere. And then over the next 3 or 4 breaths, downward facing dog. So you can lift your chest, walk the hands in, push the ground away. When you get there, maybe wiggle a bit, shake things loose. Perfect. And then left leg will go up to the sky as high in the air as you can get it. Bend at the knee. Point the knee high as you stretch open the left side of your body. And you've got your choice here again, stay or draw circles or flip your dog. If you're flipping, could you push your hips higher? Could you reach that top hand this way? Could you drop your head back? Yeah. Everybody make your way back around. Lizard lunge, left foot steps outside of left hand at the top of the mat. Wiggle down into it a bit, and when you're ready, release the back knee down. Maybe the forearms find the ground. And always, of course, left side, right side don't necessarily match. So just work with what's there. You're doing it already, but if you want, you can take that foot way over here, which will give your hips a little more space to maybe drop in. Okay, if you were down on forearms, come back up to your hands. Keep the right hand planted, left hand spirals up and open. Keep rotating the rib cage open. Reach that hand back behind you if you like. Perhaps pick up that back foot, grab a hold, sinking into the hips so that the front of the thigh gets nice and long. Send it some breath. And then if you're realizing that you haven't stretched the fronts of your thighs, maybe ever, this is your yoga homework. This one's always kind of a wake-up call. All right, let that go. Half pigeon. Take your left foot all the way over to the right edge of the mat. Lay your shin down. Find center and then forward fold. Perfect. See right where you can sink in, where you can soften. Sometimes it's the less obvious places that are holding or resisting, like check in with your eyebrows, your tongue, your jaw. Soften your fingers, your toes. Three more breaths here. And this time we'll just lift the chest and sit off to the side, swing your back leg around so you can come to seated. Well, actually, straighten the legs out, flex your feet so toes are pointing up at the sky, reach up tall, and forward fold over the legs. Oh, sorry. Like fireworks in our speaker. Rising back up, bend your knees, press your feet into the ground. Reach your arms forward, lean your torso back to about a 45-degree angle. Boat pose, lift the shins. Breathe. You can stay right here. You could assist by holding on the backs of the thighs, or you can join me as we lower down and then lift back up. And then do it 4 more times. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. And then we'll all lower down and hover 1 inch off of the mat. Arms are reaching up. Flutter your feet for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Take a breath. Hug your knees in, give everything a squeeze. Rock a little bit side to side. And then let the knees fall over to the left. Arms can open wide like a T. Gaze can turn over to the opposite hand. And we breathe. Bring the knees back through center. Give everything that squeeze and then drop to the other side. Eyes can turn all the way to the left hand. And then bring yourself back to center. Hug everything in one last time. Give yourself that super good squeeze. And on an exhale, release everything down to the ground. If anyone is on a tight timetable today, I do want to say it's 12:46. Apparently my Fitbit is not keeping time anymore. If you have to go ahead and go. Otherwise, we'll stay here and we'll enjoy a last couple of moments of rest. Before we change or go anywhere or do anything, just take this last moment in stillness, noticing how it feels to be here. How does your body feel? How does your breath feel? Little by little, training that mindfulness of being present, of noticing. And then as you're ready, let some movement back in, rolling the wrists and ankles, rocking the head from side to side. On your inhale, take a full stretch, arms reaching up. Exhale, turning over onto your side. Take this last moment of your practice today and just tell yourself thank you. And then as you're ready, rise back up to seated. Eyes can close, hands rest at your heart. And we'll close out together with 3 breaths. We inhale and we exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Bowing forward, we honor this practice of yoga for all it has to teach. Mind, body, spirit, on the mat and off. Thank you all so much for sharing your day off. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, my name is Jess, and you can go ahead and pack up. We have fun announcements that I feel I must share. Next Tuesday at 6:30 p.m., I'll be teaching puppy yoga with 11 puppies who will be 5 weeks old, scampering about while we gently pretend like we care about yoga. So if you're interested in that, you can sign up online. There's more info at the desk. Additionally, in July, we've got another acro yoga, which is super fun. You come and you climb and make shapes and you flip and you do all kinds of crazy things you maybe didn't think you could do. It's just like a really great way to like maybe spend time with a partner or a friend, or kind of, you don't have to have anyone and you show up in the community of people there, just kind of all gel together. So those 2 things are on the radar for July. Otherwise, lots of classes as per usual. Thanks.